Alright, let's get into the second day of the trial for Turnabout Big Top. We've got lions and liars. December 30, 9:41 AM, District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Oh yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Teehee. Ah, Regina. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Okay. Regina! How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today. Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mo said that? So what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on. Or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. LeMayo. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my, thanks. So how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Mo, let's not prejudice the case by jumping to conclusions. Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Nick? I guess today we just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Oh really? We can't press anyone? Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. Ah. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. Well, I mean, I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Well, the important part is they don't come back. Right? December 30, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 2. Courtroom is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Oh, she's not whipping anyone today. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Ms. Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What is the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or should I say a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. No, he saw a silhouette. Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or should I say time to walk the courtroom tightrope. We can't press him? That's it, a third bird. He has 3 birds. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor, the crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay! What I witnessed? It was just after 10 PM and I was resting in my bed. Just after 10. Around that time I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. Wait, you saw him from behind? That's what it looked like. You didn't see his face. You only saw the cape and the hat. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that is the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get to that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. Von Karma, you know you're gonna lose, right? This is a video game, and you're gonna lose this case because Phoenix Wright is the main character. So a man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. What I witnessed. It was just after 10 PM and I was resting in my bed. Alright, so can I really not press him? Let me just save and try to press him. What happens if I press him? You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That is correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Ahaha, sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ah! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Okay, so I can press him, no problem. He has no curtains. Around that time I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Can you elaborate on the thump? Can you clarify what it is? Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside. That must have been super loud. I was indeed. Pressing Acro doesn't seem to get any results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. He was in bed? On the 3rd floor. He heard a thump. Maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. It would have had to be very, 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 very loud. it would have had to be very loud. I don't think there's anything contradictory here. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. Then a few moments later I saw someone flying right by my window. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. A large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. I believe it was a human. Let me keep going. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. You only saw him from behind. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with this latest bit of testimony. Yeah, no, it could have been anyone wearing the costume. I think I press here. There is a huge no, it's not huge. It's not that huge. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Oh, the hat was left at the crime scene. The hat was left at the crime scene, so he didn't leave with the hat. Present. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. No, first of all, he's in bed. Second of all, he's crippled, so he can't walk to the window. Phoenix, that is so insensitive. You are insensitive towards a disabled person, Phoenix. He can't just walk out of bed. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Yeah, that's right, Phoenix. Just looking outside of the window was a tough moment, a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? No. Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats? No, this is a handmade one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand! No, he saw a silhouette. He didn't... He saw a silhouette, he didn't actually see the hat. Order! As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? He has a grudge against Max. Acro was dreaming. Acro is the real culprit. That's... That's a leap. That is a bit of a leap. All these things are a leap. Let me save this here. He has a grudge against Max. No, he doesn't. Acro was dreaming. Acro is the real culprit. Does he have a grudge against Max? I don't have proof that he has a grudge against Max. Or do I? I need to know about the scarf. Does he have a grudge against Max? When we talked to him, he didn't seem to have a grudge against Max. Does he have a grudge against Max? Enormous of raise. Pepper inside the box. Why would he have a grudge? Against Max? Does he? Let me click on this. Perhaps it is because Acro has a grudge against... That's pretty weak. Which is why he is trying to frame Max. Ah! Why me? What did I do? Never get your fat head in the way of a whip bent on finding justice! Mr. Phoenix Wright, I have no interest in your silly little theories. He has a grudge against the defendant, huh? You wouldn't happen to have proof of that? Well, that's the thing. Mr. Wright, thanks to you I got my head lashed by Miss Von Karma's whip. I don't like getting hit for nothing, so how about you answer with an explanation? Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? Oh, okay, he's the real culprit. We're bluffing. I'm bluffing. Your Honor! On this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. That's a stretch. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. That's a stretch. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, your dead ass, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by the theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Yeah, it's a bluff. You're right. You're right, Francesca. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. Birds. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. Yeah, maybe he is a psychopath. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. but to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? The monkey? Wow, we are reaching right now. Yeah, of course he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case, so if that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. Nani? You must not have heard that sound just now, maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Yeah, I know. Mr. Wright. It seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making other accusations. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Gulp. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice? The monkey! You don't say! Uh-oh. This is suddenly looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. Wait, what? What? Oh, did you hear that? Hear what? The sound of you getting caught in your own trap. What a splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation is built on a solid foundation. Foundation? Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? No. Do you have any proof that this person you accused was indeed an accomplice? No. What is the proof that the monkey's the accomplice? Check. Bronze statue. I don't have any evidence that the monkey was the accomplice. Is the game setting me up? The game's setting me up, right? Do you have any proof that this person you accused was indeed an accomplice? No. I mean, the fact that I didn't accuse a person, I accused the monkey, and the game didn't acknowledge that it's a monkey. Let me just, like, pick something. I don't think this is the right thing to do. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power. You didn't miss that sound, did you, Mr. Wright? You know, the sound of you receiving a penalty. What are you doing, Nick? What did you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Did he have an accomplice? Did he have an accomplice? Oh. Is it Regina? Is it Regina? Of course he didn't. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. Wait, what? What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why. Order! What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Yeah, what are you getting at? Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. Yeah, I don't know. This is this game, man. That's a stretch. Why is this the game? Why is this? I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? No, we don't have the evidence yet. Look, a proper trial, or even just a proper puzzle game, would give us the pieces, and then we put it together. At the moment, what we're doing is we're bluffing, and then the game is going to give us the pieces, and then we are going to put them together. Look, watch this. I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If we stop attacking, I'm doomed. Yeah, like he's bluffing. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? He was in his room. He was in his room. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room? Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. Nani? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. Oh, that's it? It's an interesting theory. Were you in your room or not? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. He doesn't need to be on the scene. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true! No, that's the statue. Mozart did, he saw Max, didn't he? There's a crane. That's the bust. He dropped the bust on him, and then he pulled the bust back up. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here. She's right, I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room, no doubt about it. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. I'm going to present some evidence. What did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry? Max Bust, present. What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galacticus' ample bust. So silly. Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? Impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Yeah, look how swole he is. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro is at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. I'm just grasping at straws here. Well, Acro, you can't run away. Ah, I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Because it's a video game and because drama. Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems, however. Let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ark, that woman will sink to any load to win a case. Acro's physical state. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regard to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. No, you're shameful. Grr. I can't let it get to me. I've got to focus. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bus. I think that's fine. Let's just press him anyway. Oh, I should save. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get used to it. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. Wait, Monkey is his accomplice? Unbelievable.